Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today I'm playing a bit of Battlefield 1942, but at the same time I'm going to have a bit of a chat to you about the amazing looking upcoming game, Battlefield 1. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I've played more or less, well, every single Battlefield that's ever come out, and I have been playing Battlefield 1942, things like that since, well, the early 2000s when I was a youngster, about 6, 7. And it's always been a massive part of my life. I've not been too into Call of Duty and things like that, but Battlefield's always been the one that's enjoyed, like I've got the most enjoyment out of. Yeah, looking at the trailer and things like that, it really does look incredible. They've listened to everything everyone's asked for, including a World War One, World War Two sort of game. Just going back to the roots and the start of Total Warfare. It's something that's going to interest an awful lot of people. I guarantee and they have lost any fans going to Modern Warfare games and things like that, they're definitely going to gain them back, because all the previous Battlefields have always been sort of 1942 warfare, other than 2142, which was futuristic. And DICE, you're doing a good job because you're stuck to one fucking futuristic game. Call of Duty, you might need to have a quick look at how DICE do it. But yeah, they do a lovely mixture of multiple different game modes, game types, everything, and they just constantly improve and they listen to suggestions. The only thing I can possibly fault them on is the amount of bugs and glitches that I experienced trying to play Battlefield 4 for the first time. I mean, I paid for the digital deluxe, and I think it was about 80 quid at the time or something. I paid for that, and it's just crazy, like how I joined the server and within seconds I'd get kicked off, or the game would crash. And it wasn't due to PC issues or anything like that, because I'd recently upgraded it. I'd done everything I could have, and DICE actually ended up refunding me a total of 3 times because I kept trying. I really wanted to play that game, but they just weren't having it. Anyway, I finally started playing it earlier last year. Finally. It must have took me about 3 or 4 months just to be able to access any sort of content, and even then it was crashing. It was just horrendous, and I honestly thought it was me. I honestly thought it was my computer, something that I'd done. But the more I researched into it, the more I saw that it wasn't just me. It was a worldwide issue. I think about 50% of people had this issue. And it damaged the reputation of DICE, and it didn't really damage EA's reputation, because we all know how good their servers are. But yeah, back to the point anyway. Looking over Battlefield 1, it really does look incredible. It ranges from tons and tons of different sort of battle styles, things like that, from massive blimps, ships, trains, planes, cars, tanks, and even horses. So I mean, if you're a fan of vehicles, which, I mean, if you play Battlefield, you probably are, then this is going to be a good one for you guys anyway. I think it's the most vehicles we've probably ever seen in a Battlefield game, and it's weird to see that it's coming from World War One games, seeing as though, I mean, the technology was far lesser than today. And I mean, the fact that they've managed to find all these unique and interesting vehicles and managed to input that into their game, it's definitely something that got to give them credit for. They've done an immense amount of research into the game. But yeah, going back to the actual purchasing of it, you can get the Digital Deluxe Edition on Xbox One, PS4 and Origin for a total of £65. and that features early access, 3 days early. So it'll be October 18th. You can log in and begin playing. You get the Hellfighter pack, which features map packs. I think it's the first map sort of pack, which often brings along with it new vehicles, weapons, unlockables, that sort of thing. You've got the Red Baron pack, which kind of, I'm hoping that it's just, it is how it is. It's a Red Baron that you can fly, and I'd imagine that would look pretty bloody cool, seeing a tri-winged plane flying at you, bright red, and then getting torn to shit by it. I'd probably prefer to be in the vehicle, but it'd be cool as fuck to see. But yeah, Lawrence of Arabia pack. Now that sounds quite interesting, and from what I've heard already, that's potentially like the horses and things, that sort of side of things. So weaponry is probably included in that, along with potentially the horses if they're not included in the whole game. And after that you get your 5 battle packs, which seems to just be a standard recurring thing now. I'm more than certain that's something EA is probably trying to push on to DICE. Yeah, other than that, there's not much to say about the purchasing of the games. But all I can say, it looks absolutely incredible. But yeah, Battlefield now, it's been going for, well, since 2001 or 2002, and the leaps and bounds it's taken since then is just incredible. I mean, even playing the original Battlefield games, you can tell that there's still similarities between them, like the gameplay and how it's played, and so the style of play, the ideas behind it, and even the music, the sound effects, etc. They're all very much similar, even throughout this 14-15 year period of producing these games. They've still kept to the roots. They've still created something that is unique and really enjoyable, and they've listened to people that play the games. They must have, because they haven't changed what essentially is the most enjoyable parts of the game. So you've got to, hats off to them, they've done well. I'm hoping to see a similar sort of HUD to Battlefield 4. It was a good layout and everything, but obviously a bit more rustic and old-fashioned theme to it, rather than obviously all the technology and that sort of side of things. But overall, it really does look incredible. And in the background, you can probably see, like, the graphics and whatever. Obviously it's going to be terrible for back then, but it didn't affect how you played the game. It was just amazing. It was so enjoyable, and even today people play it, including myself. I've only recently managed to install it back onto my PC, but it is really something to marvel at. But I think I'm probably going to wrap it up there. I've given my thoughts on the whole thing, and I'm really excited for it. I think it's really going to be quite good. Definitely revisiting the roots of the game was a good idea, because it's just hyped me up even more. Obviously it's 1942, it's World War II, but the idea of having a World War I game is just going to be incredible. I don't think we've actually ever seen it within the mainstream categories like Battlefield and Call of Duty. I don't think we've actually ever visited the first ever introduction to war. But thank God they've done the research into it, because they've done an incredible job just from the trailer. And hopefully there's no bugs involved and I'm able to actually play the game first time, because it's really going to upset me if I can't play it straight off the bat. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you've liked it, please leave a like. If you fancy commenting, go for it. I'm not too fussed. I like reading them, but yeah. And definitely, please subscribe if you've found any of this worth listening to, if you've got to this point. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of this footage. Bye-bye. Bye.